Shri Gurubhyo Paramagurubhyo Srimadananda Tirtha Bhagavat Padacharyo Namo Namaha Narayana Paripurna Gunarnavaya Visvodaya Stititolaya Niyati Prataya Jnana Prataya Vibhuda Sura Saukya Dukkha Satkaranaya Vidadaya Namo Namaste Yo Vipralimba Viparita Madiprabodhan Vadan Nanasya Gatavan Bhuvidatpavatam Sarveswaro Haririti Pratipatakam Tam Anandatirthamunvaram Namami Pujyaya Raghavendraya Satyadharmarataya Cha Pajatam Kalpavrakshaya Namatam Kamadenavem Sahana Vavatu Sahana Punaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahaihi Tejasvinavadidamastu ma Vishvidavahaihi Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Welcome friends once again to our inexorable journey of Kathopanishad. As we have come across to the first segment of the second Adhyaya's first Valli, that is the fourth Valli of Kathopanishad, that is the beginning of the second Adhyaya, where we are getting into the highest philosophical stream of how to adopt whatever our knowledge, how to use the knowledge, how to use our skill, and how to use our attitude which we have accumulated all through the earlier three valleys. That is where we have got because the change in our behavior and change in our thought patterns, as well as to change in our looking at the things of the world. So this is where we are coming into, and we have seen the first 7 to 8 mantras. Because we have seen up to 8 mantras, we will be seeing the ninth mantra. Though we have seen it in the passing, we will go through that. Just to give a brief outline of what we have seen, in the earlier Adhyaya also and the present one also, just for the purpose of continuity. We had everything, because we had seen, how a 7-year-old boy, the infant, who has, because left his body onto the earth and went to Yama to know, because what is the highest wisdom a soul could get. And, because what is that, because how the soul is under the control of the power, because who is not only controlling him and he is pervading entire world, the pervading entire world, in the sense not only the known world, we know only few of the things. We know only the galaxy in which we are there, in which the our solar system is one of the part of it. In that, earth is one small planet. We know only that. But the scientists now, they have observed there are 200 to 2 billion galaxies are there. We are one among those 2 billion, and we are in one of the planets of the solar system, which is part of that big galaxy. In that, we are into a tiny tot, and we have only know that, from this existence of being a tiny tot into the minuscule planet of the galaxy system, where the 200 billion other galaxies are still existing, which are known as of now. It could be, after a few days, after a few years, it might be found, because there are 300 billion galaxies. Still, it is an unknown fact, because we are getting into the unknown. We are leaping into the unknown. We only know whatever little we have, and from there we are trying to measure, and we are trying to find what is that unknown could be. So therefore you will not be able to comprehend that unknown power which has created the entire firmament and the entire galaxies. And what is that, in the system, what is that mysterious way in which this galaxy is existing? It has got a solar system, and there we are into a planet, and the solar keeps the entire life going on. If the solar is not there, if the sun is not there, because most of us would not be here. He gives the energy. We have got a portion, we have got Poshaka is being called in the Upanishad like that. So the sun is being taken as the reference for us to know the unknown thing. That is what is going to be explained in the mantra number 9. It all talks with reference to the sun, how we will be able to measure and know the magnitude of the ultimate power, who is so powerful, who is not only, because activating all the living beings, all the non-living insentients, as well as he is pervading all through the all known creations. We know only few of them, and still unknown is so much there and all. This is the gargantuan proportion of imagining what it could be. It is a sort of infinity. Will you be able to measure the infinity? No. Will you be able to see the plenitude, the limit of the infinity? We can't. But this is what it is saying. In spite of that, because to understand that power, he's still in you also, he is activating. So why don't you know? When he is part of it, you try to know him. That is the highest possible understanding a human being can have with the faculties which has been provided, because it is the highest evolution known to the man till day. Because in the evolution stream, because when you come through the entire evolution stream, irrespective of the philosophies, the man is considered to be the highest evolution so far known. Beyond man, a man can become a sort of a great being, because that is why, because we understand the man need not necessarily be a man. In scriptures, we have got three things: Manushyatvam, Mumukshutvam, and Mahapurushatvam. You can transcend the man in the existence of a man or the women, or from this body, you can transit into a Mumukshutvam, in the sense you can get into the higher level. It is a sort of a nichocha bhavam gataha, which is said in this Tattvavada philosophy, which is you can go several layers above. It is not the limit. Just you have been created with all the faculties in the evolution cycle. It is not the end of it. You got still sort of evolve yourself, transcend yourself. Why you have to transcend? By transcending, you will be able to see the ultimate possibility of this creation. So far, we have not known that. We just don't know, because we just don't exist, because we don't know. Because for instance, let us take, our fingers are working with us. It is helping us to hold a glass. It is helping us to pick up something. It is helping us to, when you are about to fall, by something slips, on your road, you are able to hold on to something and keep your balance. But your finger is with you. But how far you are conscious about those fingers? Only when you have something happens, because when the fingers are not working or there is a problem with the fingers, and you go to the doctor, then you do. And every part of the body is coordinating, finally is giving it. Who is that? You are able to see, you are able to observe, and you are able to instinctively react, when something happens, you are able to save your body, from getting any harmful injury, and you are able to keep yourself going. You are able to think. Not only that, you are able to find, because what are all the comforts you need, because depending upon your capability, because you are not the same as you are born. You've gone and you've come into the infant stage and you've grown into an adult. And after that, you had all the energy and wherewithal, and slowly, you get into the middle age. And once you become a senior citizen, because your faculties are all getting, shrunk. It is a natural process, and it is an organic process. It happens to a plant, it happens to an animal. Why can't it happen? But everything, it is a cycle. It is the order of the nature, because every galaxy, when they are coming, and because they also have an end built in. And that's what the Big Bang, they are telling how, because the stars can explode and vanish into that. When they are telling whatever has come into the world, finally it has got an end. Once you know that, it has got the process of losing its capacity and capability and do it. But in spite of all these things, how because you will be able to keep your moving all through the stages of life, be it an infant or adult or a man, middle age or senior citizens, how you will be able to keep through, which is the hold, what we call the Aadhar in Hindi. Because like Aadhar card, you have to give your Aadhar card. That is only the proof that you are alive and you are existing and you are entitled to certain things, and that is the proof. Now it's not only the proof of your existence, your proof of your address and your proof of everything. It has become like that. Likewise, it is finally the one Aadhar that is there. That's why one channel was named as Aadhar, was there long before, if you remember that and all. So that is that Aadhar we don't know, because we have forgotten that. What makes us, because move about. That is what we saw in Kathopanishad-Hidden. Keneshiti prachatam prishtam manaha, which makes you think. Kena prana pratam praiti yuktaha, how your eyes are able to see, how you are able to hear, how your fingers are able to fold, help you to fold, how your muscles are working, how your neurons are, because creating, because the synaptic connections, you are able to have the memory and you are able to master the subject, you are able to become an expert, or you are able to get to the capacity of whatever you can physically do or mentally, your activities are all being enshrined to an exhausting proposition, because where you find, it is still not the end, because you find, there is a limit and you try to find what is else. And you try to know that, because that is the curiosity, and that curiosity comes, because the ability to know and assimilate. Because as a human body and human mind, we have got the capacity to assimilate as much as possible. When you are able to assimilate, it is not only the assimilation that is required, the assimilation has to be used effectively. Even that knowledge will not be working if you are not able to use. It will also get rusted. The knowledge, when you have it, either you share it, or if not, you try to find, analyze it. That is why, we call the three words, the most important words in Sanatana Dharma is Shravana. Shravana is hearing. Once you are hearing, you are able to absorb whatever knowledge comes in the way. Manana is the one regurgitate. You go on reflecting. What is that? Because likewise, you read what you have read, because in your first standard, because by the fifth standard, it is all the more clear. And when your first standard person comes, you already know it. It is already taken for granted. You know that. Because you've already gone through the process of understanding. You have been told, you have been taught by the teachers. Likewise, you absorb. Likewise, as you go by, because whatever you study for the first time, your understanding will not be all that clear. As you get into that, embark upon the journey with the interest and the full devotion, over a period of time, you master it. And once you master it, your propensity to know much grows. Trishna vichitavat. It gives you the hunger to know more than. Like, whenever you need water, you immediately take the water. So likewise, when you don't need the water, you don't take it. But the water, that continuous thirst of knowledge, that gives you the propensity to know more. Shravana, Manana, and Nitithyasana. Once you know that, once you understand that, it takes you to the level where you know, yes, this is the only purpose of this. Understand, there is no other, the objective purposes, which you have thought, if I have the car, because life will be happy, because if I have a house, because on a seaside, because then at all I can make the life happy. If I have got a good family, and because they are all there and always, because we have got food, good entertainment, that is life. If you think, yes, it is all there. But how long? Maybe first day you will be happy, second day you maybe, third day, you get again, get bored. It becomes used. You look for something else. Why the human beings are considered to be more important, more sort of a highest evolved creatures in the sense, and all the philosophies agree, irrespective of the fact, Western and Eastern and all. Philosophy is the sophistication of the mind. The mind looks for the highest purpose of knowing something, and what is that, it's going to be helpful to not only you, to any being in this world. That is philosophy. Philosophy is not self-centered, detachment, and the self-centered, attachment to the material interest of life and spread yourself into that. It is a self-centered detachment to know yourself, to understand the greatness in you. When you go on appreciating in the outside world, and when you go after that, and when you look for appreciation from others, you are living for the world. You are not living for yourself. But you have got the greatness inbuilt in you. The power who has brought you here, he has built the greatness in you. You will have to unfold it. You will have to ferret it. You will have to mine the treasure it is inside you. This is what the Upanishad does it. You are such a wonderful, because you have got so much of treasure in you, you are able to take it out. You are able to bring it and have the splendor of yours. And by having the splendor, what happens? And if a flower blooms, The flower is not going to be happy, because the entire atmosphere is going to be happy. It's going to get, because a lot of bees and birds coming into it and get to know it and all. Likewise, you become a sort of attraction for the whole world. The law of attraction is the once you are able to bloom more, you will be able to get the higher attraction. Till then, because whatever getting attracted is only at the suboptimal level. They are all, because like the objective level. So this is where exactly, because the second adhyaya focused. Why, when the God has created all the senses and all, because you should know as to how to live in this world and how to keep yourself fit, and so that you are able to get the knowledge and experience, and you can be one of the finest beings from not only as a man, because from Manushyatvam, there you can just get into the next level of Mumukshatvam, because you become a elevated, you become a extollable, and you become someone who is capable of getting lot of knowledge, giving knowledge to others, and not only that, you can have your own knowledge source. That is how. And once you have attained that, then you evolve further in Mahapurushatvam. When you becomes a living example, fully bloomed flower, the whole world will, you don't have to go and, because present yourself. You will be presented by the Creator Himself to the whole world. All the gurus, what we have, they are all Mahapurushatva. We are all capable of attaining. But why we are not able to? If each one of us have become a Mahapurushatva, this country will be having about 1.4 billion all great gurus and all, calling what it is. But why we are not able to? But why, because there are, even centuries after centuries, only few and far between, they are the beacon of a life, they have come and told you, despite that they have created so much of strict scriptures to bring about every knowledge available, by the human possibility, with their exposition of everything from the intuitive knowledge, which doesn't have the contamination of human thoughts, still we are not able to. That is why the first mantra said, Paranchikani Vyatharanat, because everywhere, we are, when you are being spread out, your senses are being spread out, and it is sort of a curse because we are not able to get back to us. Paranchikani Vyatharanat Swayambhu, the one who created us, he allowed us to go out and dissipate yourself. And then when Parang Pashyatina Antaratman, because you are not able to see yourself, your greatness, you are not able to mine your own treasure in you. How will you be able to mine the treasure in you? Unless you know the power who has created, unless you are trying to find. Because there is one very famous, the song by Bharatiyar, ஆயிரம் தெய்வங்கள் உண்டென்று அலையும் அறிவிலிகாள் உள்ளது அனைத்திலும் உள்ளொளியாய் ஒளிந்திடும் ஆன்மா இருக்கும்போது இருக்கிறது. Because he said everyone has got insight in them, but you are trying to go out and see where it is there. And when you go and train, even the purpose is also being lost. When you go to the temple or when you go to the sort of, the Tirtha, wherever, because when the holy places like Banaras or this Badrinath or Kedarnath or anywhere and all, Tirumala, everywhere and all, you are supposed to have got the highest power inside you in that, place, and then you are supposed to leave you with that power there, and you come only with the body to do your activities. Your mind should always be there. In the sense, you understand, because what is that vibration that has got, that vibration must pervade past every cell of your body, and once that is there, because this rest of it are all mundane. You will only be doing, you will be going through the motions. You will not be bothering about anything at all. So everything, because there could be insults, there could be praises, there could be obstacles, there could be happiness, there could be sort of a wayward moments, there could be, because the one which you try to always remember for good and all, this all will come and go. So once you have that, what happens, because how you will be able to become one? Alayam is the word that is used in Alaya, is the Sanskrit word in Alayam is used in Tamil also. Alayam in the sense where you're gone and left your all your, because the unwanted cobwebs there, and with the purity of the mind which remains there, with that purity of the mind you come. How you will be able to come with the purity of the mind? Because you will always, purity of the mind is every thought will be associated with the noble intention. If you don't have the noble intention, you will not be able to have a noble thought. Even if you have to do anything for yourself, unless you have that intention, purified intention, what they call antakana suddhi. Antakana suddhi is where it is pristine, pure. You don't bother about, no likes and dislikes. He deserves only this, I will give that. And because what is that? You are the one, not the one to decide what the other person deserves. There is someone else who has already decided. You just go about what you have. If you can share it, you do it. If you don't have the mind to share it, because try to find, because when you didn't have, is there someone who have shared with you? And what is the obligation for him to share with you? The sense, because you cannot be living, like sort of the further, you should behave like an evolved creature. But if you are going back in your evolution cycle, we will be the missing link in a lot of the evolution process. That is why, someone said uh, one of the Darwinists called, because some of us behave like a missing link because we have not come into the evolution stage. This is exactly, because we have to understand, even to be deserving of what we have, the faculties we have, we will have to have the purity of the mind associated with the purity of the intention. Then only you will have the purified thoughts. We will be going further into, because thought process and all as we go about. So this is what the first mantra said. Next mantra said, having known this, having known there is someone who is guiding you, who is with you, and who is always there with you and all. If you are still trying to go after the things, which you think, they are all giving you the happiness, momentary happiness, then you said you are like a child. You are less than, you are a pre-KG person, because you are a pre-KG child. You can't be brought about, because you come to the postgraduate level and still you have the mindset of a pre-KG. No one can change it. Balaha, Anuyanti Balaha. That's what next mantra said. The third mantra said, because then Saptasparsha Ruparasa Gandha. Because they are the one, which is taking you to the point, all the tanmatras, because these are all the ones which give you the momentary happiness. Without that, you will not get attached to anything. Why you get attached, because when when you like something, when something tastes good, you want to have that only. When you feel something good, because when you have the presence of someone good, you want to have that person only. And when you find, because at the place where you reside, because you want everything, and you get attracted to the place and you want that only and all. But even this will not be continuous. Even there will be a change, because the world is changing, because the atmosphere is changing, the environment is changing, the economy is changing, the cultural moorings are changing, everything is changing. And what we have seen the life, because when we were infants and what we are having the life now, it is totally different. We could have never imagined, we will be having this sort of life. We thought, that is the be all and end of it. Now we have got a life now, and because now we don't know how it is going to be. But whatever comes, we will have to see, because we have to keep our adhar or mooring. Because I will have to know, yes, because as long as I am keeping the purity of intention and thought, that will take me, whatever be the situation, whatever be the circumstances, whatever be the place, irrespective of the place, irrespective of the person, irrespective of the culture, irrespective of the country, you can be happy everywhere. This is exactly the Upanishad brought it. And then, because it brought the power, what is being talked about, he is always with all this is Jagrathasthana and Shushumasthana, and as well as, because Swapnasthana, he is always guiding you in all your states. You are in the wake up stage every day and all, because you are doing something and all, you think, I have done and all, because he is getting it done by you. Because you deserve to get what you have, and he is getting those sections. Why? Because you are not doing everything. In the sense, someone else may be doing better than you, but you are doing what is required for you and you are doing it. And as you focus, with the purity of the intention, you will be able to do what exactly is required for you. Otherwise, you will be getting into things which, you will have to come out of it. Every time you will be creating a web around you, you will be working out to come out of that. This is what, because that mantra said, and the one which is always been giving you all the three states and all the thoughts, with you, he is the power, please know, because try to understand that, that will take you on. So then we went into because how the highest power, how he can be described. We saw, because there are three stages, because the highest power and the highest sort of a causal level, the one who has caused, all the 200 billion galaxies plus, which is likely to be more, and the 20 billion sun stars, more like sun, because like sun, they say NASA has estimated 20 billion stars are there. We know only one sun. We are part of one solar system, because that's why all our scriptures talk about the solar system, which is known system to us. There are so many unknown solar systems are available. We don't know how it is done. But our solar system has been known so much. And that is what we take as a reference to understand that incomprehensible power. Incomprehensible power, because you cannot be having a calibrated measurement of anything and all. You will only be able to understand, yes, it is. Some mysterious experience will come. How that, because otherwise there is an order. How the order has been kept? Who has kept this order? If the 200 billion galaxies are there, why they are not colliding with one another and creating a chaos? Even the present galaxy we are remaining here, even there is a 0.001 degree. If a Earth tilts from its axis, all of us will be burnt alive. Because the sun's rays will come so powerfully, because you will be just closer to that and none of us can exist. But who has kept it at such a wonderful balance, where you are able to get the energy from the sun, light from the sun all through. When you are sleeping, the sun is doing its job elsewhere in US or somewhere, because when you are getting up, because it's doing somewhere in Australia and Middle East. And somewhere else, because it's round the clock is working. Ekarshi is the only person who works 24/7 and giving energy to every part of all the solar system wherever he has to give. This is the greatness of them. And who is the power behind that? Even when sun is doing it, because he is doing it how? On one whose command is doing it. Is there any command, or he must have been created, or the sun should also be having some sort of a atomic power, the source from there he must be getting, all this energy and all. Who has given this? Who has given all these things? Because that is what, So one who has given, that is what, even we have seen Isavasha Upanishadam. Hiranmayena patrena satyasya apihitam mukham. Hiranmaya is the golden vessel, the golden, that entire effulgence which is coming about from how this golden effulgence comes. When you get up in the morning, you see the rising sun. So wonderful, it is just being struck, because it comes the light yellow and to red and slowly it gets into the golden color. And finally the morning sun, it is just glowing like a golden vessel. That is what, in the Hiranmayena Patrena Satyasya Apihitam Mukha. With your splendor of that golden effulgence, you are just conceding the power who has given you all that power. And then, because he say, I want to kindly show me that power. Tattvam Pushan Apavarano Satya Dharmaya Drishtaye. I am just working on that. I am just doing all the upasana. I am trying to do what the Upanishad says. I am trying to see the inside of me, because when you are doing, because the house, you are doing a puja, you are trying to take, whoever has given the power, who is supposed to be in your Hridaya Akasha, who is supposed to be in the part of yours, who is powering you. You are trying to see in the deities whom you are worshipping. In the house, when you are going to the temple, you are trying to worship that Surya Mandala, because it is a common place. The vibration is coming from the Surya Mandala. That's why you've got all the temples have got the towers, and the towers have got the kalasas. from the Kalasa, because it is getting the power of the vibration, and it has got, we have got Agama Shastra. It is not a simple Kalasa and all. You have to follow so many procedure, even constructing a temple. We have got the massive monuments built by forefathers, which we can't imagine even 1,000 years hence, we will be able to create one small temple like that. So therefore, because that is where, finally you will have to get Satyasya Apihitam Mukha. So finally we will have to get that. Then only, because why Hiranmayena Patrena when we has get, the scriptures so beautifully said, because the causal power, the final Brahma, the Brahma power, Brahma who is creating entire, who is also giving the power to the sun, moon and everything and all, he is the one causal, and finally he takes the role of, because at the subtle level he is being called as Hiranya Garbha. Hiranmayena Patrena Satyasya Apihitam Mukham. When they said, then Hiranya Garbha is a golden womb. The sun is the one who is creating. Before the world was created, what was there? Nothing. The entire, because the planet was hot, it spread out or something, and because finally when it cooled, the first sort of the cell that came into being, the first virus that came into being, and they all got the energy from the sun. And because of the sun and because of the atmosphere and because some water particles were formed, and they gave the little nourishment, and the clouds formed because Parjanya, it gave that, and the by virtue of there's so many volcanoes and all, the mineral power was enshrined into the world, because all the mineral power and all the power which is getting to me today, you get any metal on the world, it's all given by the Mula Prakriti. You don't invent any material out of the any outer space. You cannot create because in your laboratory these metals. If the ores are not available, you will not be getting even any of your utensils you are using in the house. You will not be able to get the steel, gold, silver, lead, and anything, and you will not be able to get. It is all coming Prakriti. She is giving. At the causal level, when he created the Hiranya, he created the Prakriti, and Prakriti gave the power. From there, because all the 5 elements were created, from the 5 elements combined together form a lot of plants. And finally, from there, because the animals got created, because of the change in the atmosphere, the metamorphosis as it happened. And slowly there is an evolution of animal stream also. We have got a lot of ages. You might have heard about Jurassic age, and then Precambrian age, and then because there are a variety of geological ages are there. As the ages went by millions of years, as the atmosphere was there, and it was when it was conducive for certain species to evolve, they all came. But we all have our root in the first cell that was formed. That is why even the plant, what is having the protoplasm, and even human cell, there are some commonalities are there. You are not different. You may say it is a plant. It is protoplasm also has got your cell telomerase, when they call it, it has been proven by him. It is there. It has got the same protoplasm. So you are not different, and because the unity, when you say it is the same power was created. And the same cell you have got, but then the cells, when they evolve, they form into, because the variety of species, the evolution's lineage, when it took place, then slowly, because the animals came from the animals, because finally we say chimpanzees, gorillas, and finally, because human being evolved, that's what Darwin brought about. Finally, it has happened, because all of us have got a common ancestry. Even the year before last year, the medicine prize was given, because we have got the Neanderthal cells also in our body. So when that was being found, we are no different from others. We may think we are different. We are not at all different, because if the God creates to reverse the evolution cycle, we may all go back. It doesn't take, because for him, it may be, in millions of years, you can create the same thing and all, but he has created with a purpose, because all these things have to grow, they will have to come to a stage. There has to be a sort of a splendor they have to bring. Finally, when they are not able to manage so much of resources, every being, everything which is created will have to have its own sort of a destruction, or when it has to go off from the scene, that will also happen. As you know, you cannot go for immortality by living for thousands of years. By doing that, what is going to happen? You are only working against the order, which is not possible. You may have all the wealth, resources, and all, but because it has to go. Finally, it has to be ashes to ashes, earth to earth, and then fire to fire, water to water. It has to go to the respective sources only. So once you having known that, once you know that is the power that Hiranyagarbha was, then subtle level Hiranyagarbha creates, and from there only, because then we are able to see all the creations have come. That is what we saw, the cosmic mind or the cosmic world and all. In the sense, because when you transcend yourself from Manushatvam to Mumukshatvam, you are able to see, what is the common wisdom that is available in the firmament. You don't confine yourself with the personal ambitions and the personal prejudices and the personal requirements. You are able to go beyond that. You are able to see, everything equal, because everyone has got the same power in them. That is when Hiranyagarbha is there. We used to work because finally, when you get intuition, how do you get the intuition? The intuition is not by only your thinking power. Your thinking power, what it gives is only a thought, because as you would try to act. Intuition comes, because when nothing is known, it comes from unknown source. That unknown source, depending upon the purity of your thought, attitude, and intention. It doesn't come to everyone, because when you get some intuition at that point of time, you are so pure and so committed, and you are only being looking for something which is very which is supposed to be glorifying to not only to you, to whatever process you are doing, whatever sort of the work you have undertaken, whatever mission you are undertaking. For that, you get that intuition comes only then. So when you get when you are having a problem, because supposing you are even the senior most persons, because they are being put into a lot of problems. We have seen in our life. And suddenly, because the lot of cases are filed, the man is being put into, and he becomes a persona non grata. Even the people, even the lowest person doesn't want even to see his face. It happens. But then, because when he gets the intuition, look, okay, let me go through this and let me see what is the best, because when he sees that, when he works with that pure intention, you will find, all of them have come out very clean. In fact, they are more respected than what they were even after, because when they were riding the power. Because we have got people like we have seen all those strength, how it comes by having this attitude. This is what the Upanishad says. And then that is the subtle level, and then the gross level. Once the gross level, when we have come into this world, this is Virat, we call it. In the Virat, what happens is in the Virat gross level, you try to see everything from cause and effect. So if I do it, this will happen. If I study for this, and I will get this job. After that, because then I'll be able to get a proposition for a marriage. And after that, because I will be able to leave. You go on sort of building, the castles. But suddenly something comes in between, you are nonplussed. I've been doing this, now what happens? But when you have this attitude, as Upanishad says, this too shall pass, because you don't have any, your intentions always continues to be good. To hold on to such a great intention is very difficult. It's because there are so much power in the world and so much of a proliferation in the world, you will be always drawn. Why can't you do it? That fellow has known someone, because God can't help, Godfathers can help. You can go and approach him and he will do this, he will do that, because or you go to this astrologer, he will tell you what is to be done. Or you go to this person, because he has done some mantras, yantras, and tantras, and because it has happened good to them, and you go on listening to all these things, and you don't work on yourself. This is where Upanishad says. I think we have seen the second chapter. I think you must be remembering the word what is doing. Swayam Dira Pandita Manyamanaha, because they say everyone thinks he is great. When you go with a problem, when you are not, when you are under, because so much of a depression, the other fellow says, I will take you out. Who is he? He himself can't take it out. Can he take it? He is under the power of the ultimate power. If he can't help himself, how he can help? That's what I was narrating a story of one great astrologer who never used to give sort of a appointment for months. Finally, he committed suicide. Why he has to? Because such a he is, everyone said, because he used to charge through nose, and people used to wait for him and go and get, because this is what it is. He used to say and all. Finally, such a why he has to do, because it's all dandramyamanaha, because they are all crooked. When someone tries to tell, because how can you say, tomorrow the sun will not set? Can I say that order is there? He is the one who has created. When the sun can't set and sun has to rise as it is, you cannot change anything. You can only change your attitude. Why? When you will be able to change it? When you know the power inside you, he is with you, he is guiding you, he is doing that. The Antakarana Suddhi is a temple residing in you. You have to be a temple for him, deserving to be residing. But if you are contaminated, and because he can't live any longer there. This is exactly, because the mantra has indirectly brought about, because mantra number 7 and 8, because that's what we saw that. In that, because it gave, the Upanishad gave a beautiful this one. He said, in the Upanishad also said, because earlier, when you were talking about tanmatras and all, when you are involved into the world, you always want, to get the object for your satisfaction. Why you want to get the objects for your satisfaction? Because unless you get it, you say happiness is eluding you. You are deluded by thought, so you are going after that. But once you get that, you find, because that is not enough, or that is even that is not the right thing, because you want something else, because likewise it goes on taking you. But once you know what is with you, the highest knowledge we can gain from the Upanishad is just with whatever you have. And if you want, if you can carry on with whatever you are capable of, with the right intention, there is nothing more than that is needed. Don't go after that, because it's few, our own companion may say, our own children, why you are doing like this, you should go for that, you should go. Why? Because I am happy with whatever I am. As Shakespeare said, the content is the crown I am wearing, even the no emperor can afford. The content is the crown once you are wearing, in the sense, not that you are not going to do, you are going to idle. You will be putting your effort, whatever is your interest. If you want if you have got a literature, you will be getting into that. If you are a writer, you will be getting into that. You will be teaching others, you will be proliferating. Whatever you can do, even, because I saw a man who is just, is a lame. I think his wife was amputated. But both of them have started something, for the sort of deserving couple, who couldn't afford to live. Of course, they got the help and all. You just see the intention. When a person, who is totally disabled and the wife is, having amputated hand and all. I saw it's a live example. I have seen that. When I see that we are all nobody, when we have got everything intact, when we have got everything going for us, we still crib. Why should I crib? You are an emperor. You go with an emperor. You got with the mind, because you have to walk like that, because there is that, because once you have that, as Shakespeare said, you have got the crown of contentment on your head and no emperor can afford. Once you are there, and then you go about it. At the same time, go about doing something. Don't really. Procrastination is always barred in our Sanatana Dharma. Not only that, in every other religion. If you can, Nana Janasya Shushushu Karma, in the sense, if you can't, if you don't have anything at all, try to do something for us. Teach someone. Or at least, because you send, because whatever, people are finding, some difficulty, you please give them some proper advice. You take them somewhere and all. Create a sort of, because some sort of a satsang, because where people can interact. At least you make a meeting place, where people can laugh and have a life of their own. This is exactly what the Upanishad has talked in sum and substance. Basically, because it was training, it is, you should not always be bogged down cause and effect. And what is, krita krita. That is what, that our Upanishad also we have seen. Karana karanat. And then, because akrita krataha akrita, because you don't go by all those things. Try to do it. Is the power beyond that. Once you go about doing something, automatically it comes. And when you think, you've got to start something, or when you have to do something, how am I to do? If you go on cribbing, or if you are thinking always, or if people say, how can you do, you don't have this, you don't have that, don't bother about it. If you are convinced, you just put the seed and start, because as small as possible, you just see the entire cosmos will help you, entire the power will help you to. And because a lot of you might have seen, because someone wants to start at a temple or a seva samiti and all, and initially everyone would have discouraged, what is that you are going to do, you have to have all these resources, this and that and all. You put a seed into that and put all your mind and energy into that, it will automatically happen. So likewise, because we have seen our own elders have done it. When everyone was discouraging them, they said, no, okay, let me do and all. So in place where I was staying in Madurai, we didn't have even a temple, because when we went there in 55, 60 years before, a gentleman, retired gentleman, he used to collect 5 rupees per house. He thought, we will have a small temple. Finally, he got, someone gave some stones and bricks and all, finally small temple. Today that has become a big temple. It has been taken over by HR&C. And that credit goes to that old man. He is no longer there. And he used to go to every house, as a matter of devotion. And people used to think, because even before the other fellows have come to ask for money, this gentleman has come, because people had that attitude. They never thought, he is doing something for themselves. And all. Because in Tamil, there is a proverb, Kovililla Uril Kudi Irukade. Since it was an upcoming area that he took the initiative and all. So likewise, because anyone can start anything and all, but once you have the courage and conviction, that will come only when you are able to take this. So as we go about only, because now the mantra number 8 we have seen, Aranya Nihito Jatavetaha Karbagnya Garba Eva Subruto Garbini Bihi. This is what Aranya Nihito Jatavetaha. See, because in our yajnas, Arani is two pieces of wood. They used to be rubbed against. It is made of a particular salt tree. And it used to be, you have to select the particular branch, particular tree, and then once you make it, you rub it, you get the spark out of it. And from that spark, you have some cotton or soaked cotton and all, then you get the fire. That fire should be used in Agni Kund when you are doing the Havan. Even in Haridwar nowadays it is taking place, because that is the Arani is being used. Even now you might have seen, because a lot of places where yajnas are being, that Arani is being still used. People know that they chant the mantra of Agni Suktam, they do it and they go on. That Arani, because it's the one, Aranya Nihito. But the spark is it that in the log of wood, the spark, how can you put it? Is it concealed? Like Paramatma is concealed in us, which we are not able to see, it is concealed. When you rub it, that's why Madhvacharya gave an elegant explanation. It is a Guru and Sishya, because your avidya is there. You don't know anything about it. When you are able to, your own sort of, the ability to get it, when a Guru guides you, you are able to, it is like a Guru and Sishya. Finally, you do it, because you get the spark. And once you know the splendor of the spark, it gets you and it takes your knowledge to the highest. Aranya Nihito Guha. Like the spark is concealed in that, it is that much, because Upanishad tries to explain, look, because like even we may be doing the matchstick. Matchstick also what, you've got to the match head, because now red or black used to be there and all, because what it got chlorate and all, and you have to strike against the phosphorus coated and the chlorate coated in that side, and then only it gives it. So both like Guru and Sishya, then only with the matchstick all alone, in conflagration of the chemical is there, it will not able to burn. It will have to do that. This is the greatest similes and metaphors, they have tried to bring, so that, because for us, we are still to learn, still to understand. Boy, look at that. This is like that. The spark and how it is concealed. Likewise, is concealed in you. Is in every part of you. You are not able to see that. Aranya Nito Guhayam Jataveto Garbaiva Subruto Garbanipi. Because like, the womb, because when the child is found in the womb, So when finally, because the Gandharva Aganita, because all of you might have heard in when you recite Hanuman Chalisa, Gandharva Aganita. Gandharva is the virile factor, the Aganita, because the fire in that virile factor, when it, because that is the power of creation. Once that creation is there, how it happens in the mother's womb? It goes day by day. Garbhini, how it is protected. The mother's womb protect till such time the finally grown child is tumbled out into the earth, like all of us have come. And that is it is like that, because the spark is not enough. And I will have to be maintaining that. Every day you will have to be on to that sadhana. It is not that, sadhana is work, is worship and the pure intentions. And whatever time using, because spiritually you have to elevate. How? The religion helps you because the faith gives you to go into that process. Religion is not the man factor, to go about the formalities, in which you show your superiority to others. It is for you to find your own treasure. That is what the purpose of the religion. The faith is, just to keep you moving and moved into your conviction and contemplation. You are never being shattered, because once you have that, there is someone, he is with me, he is with everyone. Not only that, whether the person is the American or Christian or Muslim or Zoroastrian, he is there in everyone. Once you have that, it's a wonderful world. The wonder of the world is available to you every day, but you are not able to see it, but only you crib about this is not there, that is not there, this is good, that is not good. How you will have to do that every day, you will have to show. Dive, eat Jagratam, because likewise, dive, day by day. So why it has got another connotation is when you are having a homakund, because you will have to put the brick one after the other. There is a particular method by which you should be able to do. For instance, because that you are doing Sudarshana Homam, because there is so many, first should be 24 and then 20, 18, that is there. But each brick is being very, very carefully, respectively chosen, and they put it in that they recite the mantra and all do it. Likewise, because for the sages and saints, they go on, because every day they are doing the dhyana. The dhyana, because they always remove all the cobwebs. They see there is no impurity never comes into. They want to see that. That is the yajna they are doing. Even we can do that yajna. You don't have to do yajna every day and go and sit in front of a home. But once you go on thinking, because let the thought, the pure thought you try to find, because what is the best I can do about for myself, because I got something, some idea like this. I have seen someone is doing like that, which because it's a very good thing, and I can also do. I can also start an orphanage. It may come, or I can also start, from deserving children, something to do. Then go and do it. That's the purity of the thought. Dive, that is the worship. But even when you do the worship in your puja room and all, that 5 minutes or 10 minutes and all, you may recite hundreds of things. You may recite, even the very difficult slokas, the others are not able to pronounce. But the few moments when you are totally immersed into the power that is, when you're totally lost into the surrender to the power, that is more important. You might be a great scholar. Swayam Dira Pandita Manyamanaha. I may consider myself, but if I don't have that, because the surrender, I will just tell a beautiful story. I think Ramana Maharishi has said. Surrender to the self, because he is the Advaita philosopher. He said surrender because you are in the Vyavaharika, you are just discussing about everything. Once you remove, this bodily, because attachment, you are not the body, because the same power is there everyone else. But don't look up to the body. Don't glorify the body. That's what this. Every day when you are doing, because the argyam which you do, when you go to the Ganga, Yamuna, or Godavari, you give argyam, or in house also you are doing argyam, Sandhya Vandanam or other when you do the procedures, because everyday procedures, Swadhyaya, when you do, what is the purpose? Now, Mama, because you are trying to give the bodily attachment, you are trying to address the soul. But are we able to? Look, because I got eye problem, so let me get that, because let me do Surya Namaskar. You do all those things. But then, because the bodily attachment, you look after the body, but don't be attached to the body as it is. You have to give up in the bodily attachment in the sense, because it is slowly, that is the process of dissipating the ego. So as Ramana Maharshi was telling, what is the surrender? A devotee went and asked him, surrender in the sense, what is that? He said, you will understand, because surrender is when you are able to see the highest power in us, in everyone. And if you just, because he be, when you are surrendering to him, you are surrendering to the person, the power inside any person also. So you should be able to take, the person also equally, that of a person who is residing in that. The power that is residing is the Paramatma residing in every person. When you are giving a respect and regard and the same helpful attitude to everyone, be it a mighty monarch or even as a peevish beggar, that is the highest issue. The person who was interacting with Ramana Maharshi, when he was coming, suddenly he encountered on a lady who was afflicted with leprosy. This is way back in 30s, 20s and 30s. At that point of time, leprosy was considered to be a stigmatized disease, and people were not able to. And the one lady, she had so much of, and she doesn't have something called a nose. Only some two small holes were there, and her fingers, half of them doesn't seem to be existing. And she was in such a bad shape, because she was repulsive. I think, because by the sight of it, it appeared to be repulsive for him. Basically, she didn't ask for alms. She wanted for some help. Maybe I think, she was very resourceful by virtue of, having this disease and affliction, because she has been abandoned or something. He was city bred, and from this one and all, he was feeling it repulsive and all. Then immediately remembered Ramana Maharshi. See, when you are surrendering to the God, and to surrender to the God in that person. Then immediately what he did, he had some fruits and other things. He just gave it to her and made some water and milk available to her and something that and all. That lady was, because happy, whatever little she could get, someone has taken the attention, and otherwise she was just longing for it, because almost without having any foods. Starvation to death was, because looking at her. And he did that, and then he realized, what is the surrender? Surrender is either surrender to the God or surrender to his creation. It's not that, because I will only surrender to the God, but all his creations, because they all have their own deal, because I got nothing to do, because then in the case you are not understood the religion. Even Western or Eastern, because Eastern religion or Western religion, they always advocate, because why so many Jesuit Christian organizations has started the missions. Irrespective of the fact, we have to appreciate, because they are the one who taken the issue and started the mission, irrespective of the fact, whether they did it for proselytizing or something like that, and we may be saying. Until Mother Teresa was there, because these people have been left abandoned only. Because finally you see the end result. You don't go by your own prejudices. It could have happened. See, because there is no point in pointing the fingers, and if possible, you try to do it. You try to do much better. Because you have got the capability, you have been brought into the world like this. This is exactly Dive, that is the worship. For Jnanis, because when they are doing it, because they are reflecting and they are finally bringing it. For a householder, when he is doing it, because he is doing the puja and charity, whatever he can do. When you are going dhana, dharma, because that is a yajna. Because five panchakarmas, when we have got, because karma and dhana, dharma, dhyana, these are all the ones, we have to do. And that has been established in, that has been sort of very well said in Gita also. We have all got to do with it because dhyana, dharma, and karma, all these things are part of it. So nothing is taken out. If you don't do any of those things, because what is the purpose of it? That is what it says. So this is dive jagrat. Finally, when you say that is the agni, you will have to grow in the yajna universe. So therefore, this is what finally it said. It is like guru and shishya. And finally, when you got the spark, and you will have to develop the spark as a mother's womb, because she is bringing about that fully grown child tumble into the earth day by day as the child is growing. Nowadays, because everyone is taking a scan, at the periodical time, they say, now the child has formed, now he has a guy, everything is okay, because now they are also trying to confirm, because whether anything can be helped now so that the fully grown child without any problem comes out and all. So likewise, it is the beautiful analogy, because in those days, Upanishad has brought in. Having done that, what is that? Now they have said, because at the subtle level, they have told, how the God could be, how the castle level, how the ball God could be, and the grass level, as Ramana Maharishi has exemplified, because how will you have to treat, because the worship, because it's not only, that you do, with your regular obligations, ablutions and all, but there is also the way you can do that. That's what it has said. And now last mantra which we'll be reciting is, we recited, we didn't go into that. Yachet Udayati Suryaha, like, because how the sun rises, the same thing it's done. The sun rises from whom? He has got an order. Who has created order? That which from sun rises. Hiranmayena patrena satyasya apihitam mukam. The power that makes sun to rise. Astam yatra cha gacchati. Because when it sets, where it goes. He say, because if you go to the Kanyakumari, they say that it goes into the sea. Because it appears to be a sea. How you are able to see the sun day and night? Because the earth is rotating. You are going around the sun, then you are getting day and night. It doesn't go anywhere, and it is there in its place. For us, it appears to be, because it is a sort of a hallucination for us. Because we are on the rotating earth, in our part of the earth, and the sunshine is there, we call it a day. But somewhere else, the sunshine is there, it is for day for them. For us, it is night. Tam devaha sarve arpitaha. He is the one, who has created this order, in whom the sun rises and sun sets. Tam deva sarve arpitaha. All other gods or devatas, they all finally into him, surrender into him. He is they are all under the domicility of the Paramatma. He is the final end of it. Why they selling? There are so many demigods. Why should we happen? Because we said, because they Indriya Abhimani Devatas, because we have got in our scriptures. Like, sun, eyes have got the sun, ears have got the moon, and the tongue has got the Bharati, because when you are able to speak. Likewise, because we have got all the Karmendriyas and Jnanendriyas, they are all being assigned a Devata. Like Manas. Manas, Indra and Rudra, they are supposed to be the sort of power, they are controlling it all. When they are controlling Shivam, when you say, when you are in a happy contentment mood, Shivam in the sense, because Rudra has given you such a sort of a highly elevated mind, you are always in the mode of happiness. Nothing can shake you. And then, because when Indra is there, it gives you the capability, because it gives the perseverance. You do, because when the mind is there, something difficulty you encounter, no, because this is the right thing to do, let me go about doing it. Likewise, you've got all of them, because in the sense, because we might have seen in Veda, a lot of suktams are there, a lot of hymns are there, praising Indra, Agni, Vayu, Varuna, so many other Vasus, everything, because Adityas, Rudras, so many things are there. All these things, finally, they get, they are all invoking the final power. The Parabrahman is the one. Though you may be thinking, because if I do that, Indra will give you, the Indra will bring the rain. And if you give the Agni Suktamandal, because if there is any the hotness is required when you need, Agni is also the one who is giving you the entire progenerative capacity, because like where the population has to grow, or when there is something plants that is grow, then you need Parjanya, you need a lot of rain. So then you need the water, because then for that, because the Apasuktam is there. Likewise, because all of them have been created, but finally they are all under the power. Like even sun is under the power of the ultimate, and the entire galaxy is under the order of one person. He's the one. Then not atyeti kaschana, because other than that, none ever transcend that. That is the final limit of the infinity. Tam devaha sarve arpitaha tat una atyeti kaschana, because beyond that no one can go. That is the limit. See, there is something called the Chandrasekhar limit in astronomy, because all the stars or all the planets, they can't have, the dwarf planet, they cannot have more weight than that, because that is the ultimate weight. That is called Chandrasekhar limit. That is, of course, now that is being, for that he got a Nobel Prize in 1980 or 81 and all like that. He got it. So, Subramaniam Chandrasekhar, he got that. Likewise, this is the limit. Beyond that, there is nothing else which we have already seen in this Upanishad. We have seen the Upanishad, the objects of the world, because they are all grass, and the tanmatras are subtler than these objects and vastus, and the senses are subtler than the objects. Tanmatras are subtler than the senses, and the manas is subtler than the tanmatras, and buddhi is subtler than the mind, and then Hiranyagarbha, because that is subtler than the buddhi, that is, because that is the cosmic mind. And then Prakriti is subtler than the Hiranyagarbha, because it's more than the Brahma and the Parama, the Brahman is subtler than the everything, and Naparaha. After that, there is nothing else is there. The same thing has been brought about here. It has also given us the one, because you will have to go on doing it, your process every day. The way you do it. Yes, Cheti Surya, because where in the sun and moon, they are working to an order and getting into that. And all the other deities who have been invoked into the Vedas, scriptures and all, finally they are conveyed. That's why we said entire Vedas, who is the one finally being give the denotion? It is to the Parabrahman. And the Parabrahman, because how Parabrahman, because there is a different connotation in who is Parabrahman and all. But I think finally this has been settled by the Vyasa, who has written 17 Puranas. 18 Puranas he has written. 17 Puranas, after writing that, he was little dissatisfied. I have written 17 Puranas, but the world is going its own way. No one seems to be bothering to read, because he has written all the Puranas. Brahma Purana, Brahmanda Purana, and everything is there. And all these great slokas like Lalita Sahasranam is coming from Brahmanda Purana. Likewise, because Adhyatha Ramayana is there, so many Padma Purana, Vayu Purana, Garuda Purana, so many things are there. He has brought everything, what is the sanctity of the karma, what is the sanctity of the attitude, what is the sanctity of the approach in life, what is the sanctity of living itself, because why should one live, what is the purpose of it, everything in all the 17, because the world was going its own way. Then, he left that place. If you go to near Badri, there is a Vyasa Guha. If you go there, you will be able to see there, Vyasa Guha is, you will find made of stones. On that Guha, there are blocks of stones. They appear to be few chapters of the books. All of them, it's like exactly in the shape of a book. You find all of them are, it is a guha. You have to go, because bending inside and you go and pray, and we did the meditation there. We had the opportunity to do. When he went there and he got dissatisfied, from there he went to, there is a Saraswati river which is running close by, because Saraswati river can be seen there. After that, it gets sort of this mysterious river, goes under the earth somewhere. By the side of the Saraswati river, he went, and because he just because dissatisfied, with whatever he has created, he was there. And Vyasa himself is supposed to be an avatar of Vishnu, Krishna Dvaipaya. Why he did it? But they say, it is a sort of a, he dramatized the thing so that the people do understand it. So then when he left that Guha and then he went and stayed on the banks of Saraswati, that is where, Moola Vyasa Guha they say, because that is where Madhvacharya is supposed to have met the Vyasa there. There Narada came and told him, because you are the ultimate, avatar of the Parabrahman. Why do you, because do this? And I think now you got, well, I think you are supposed to be bringing the highest possible scripture to this world, and because whatever dissatisfaction you have dramatized now, all these things will vanish, and finally that will be the beacon for the entire world. Then he wrote Srimad Bhagavatam. The Bhagavatam was the one finally he wrote, and it is the ultimate of all the 18 scriptures what he has written. Therefore, the Srimad Bhagavatam, if you go through all the skandhas and all the chapters, it gives you why. That's why Bhagavata Saptaham is being taken everywhere and all, because in the human life, even at least few know, because few essence of Bhagavatam, that is good enough, because after the 17 Puranas, because he himself was dissatisfied and he wrote that. That's why there is an inscription done on the Vyasa Guru, Satyam Param Dhimahi. Satyam Param, Param in the sense that is the end of it, transcend, limit. Beyond that, nothing is there and all. Satyam Param Dhimahi. So that Satyam Param Dhimahi, it came out of that. In fact, the first mantra of Srimad Bhagavatam ends with the word Satyam Param Dhimahi. So that's what he said. That has been exemplified in this particular mantra of 2.1.9. We will get into further details next week. With this, I will conclude today's session. I will also try to bring some anecdotes. From here onwards, it is the answer to the last question of Nachiketa. When he wanted to know who is that controlling power who has been controlling, because even during the life and after the life also, the soul under whose control it is there. So that has been answered. He is the one, he is the transcending ultimate limit. He is the one who controls everything. This has been interpreted by different philosophies differently. Advaita says, because he's, when you get the qualities of the same thing, you become like that, because unity. And Visishtadvaita says, Tava Sahavartate is always there. Sariraka Mimamsaka. You are also part of that Virat Swarupa. So you will have to serve your part of it. Like your fingers will have to serve. Your toes will have to serve you to walk. Your fingers will have to serve to fold. You are part of the Virat Swarupan. Whereas Tattvavada says, no, Tava Tava Samipe Vartate is there, because he doesn't contaminate it by your actions and thoughts, but he is enabling you to do. If you want to do good act, he is also doing it. If you want to be a rogue, and he enables you, because that is what you deserve, but he gives the power, like gasoline gives the power to the car, whether you are doing it for a holy purpose or some other purpose, it doesn't differentiate. It powers the engine, but the engine, how, what make it is and what type it is, because we have come with our own karmas. So we are we go that, because samipya vartate. That's what this is the only difference. But by and large, all the streams agree. Satyam param dhima. He is the end. He is the limit. There cannot be anything more than plenitude of the infinity. You cannot think anything more than that. And that same power is inside you. So don't take the trouble of knowing what is the plenitude, what is the infinity, because it's very much in you. And the Upanishad takes you and it explains about the God in further, because another 7 mantras we will be seeing in due course. Thank you very much. I will complete the session with this. Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavadidamastu ma Vishvidavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, Prabhupada.